laziness and work ethic. So we talked about making films. Now today we will talk about laziness and work ethic. Now why am I saying this? I should not say this because naturally we should have a great work ethic when you are in the film industry. You may ask why. Let me give you some examples, or maybe one or few examples. It's like when you are choosing the profession you actually love, so this work ethic becomes an inseparable part of your work. Maybe in another profession you are not doing that kind of work, you don't have that work ethic, maybe you don't like to do that work much. That's why you are choosing something you like to do or you love to do, right? So there you can give your best, you can actually show your passion, you can actually show your enthusiasm. So it is like each second is important and you are utilizing each and every second, and each and every bit of it. It's really important. Either you are reading a book, or maybe you are looking at some interviews, or maybe you are looking at something, you are doing your research, you are going out there, you are traveling, you are meeting people. It can be anything. You are experiencing life, you are enjoying life. And when you are writing, when you are directing, when you are acting, you are taking all those experiences into your work. You are putting those things into your work in different ways, not in a very in a narrow way or a strict way. You have to do this, you have to do it. Not like that. You want to tell a story and you have these experiences with you. Now how you are going to create those characters, how you are going to shape that story, how you are going to tell that narrative, how you are going to create that experience of that film. So that's why laziness and work ethic. Many people talk about work ethic. I work really hard. I am a very hard working person. So we sometimes, this comparison can make us take the wrong decisions. Why? Because we think that since we are totally into this filmmaking, we are totally into the research, we are totally into the the things that can lead to a great film. Maybe we are not in the contract, if I say so. Maybe we are not in the contract, or maybe not in a project already, but you are always shaping yourself as a director. You are always shaping yourself as a person. You are learning all the time, So this movie, that movie, you are getting better and better. Maybe you are making one mistake, you are coming back stronger. Maybe you are telling a different story altogether. Where will it come from? Your experiences, sometimes you want to tell the story. Maybe once upon a time you wanted to tell that story, or maybe you wanted to tackle that genre. Now you feel like tackling that genre, you feel like making that movie, right? So these things will happen, but this laziness and work ethic, some people say I am a hard working person, that guy is a lazy person. Definitions, how do you define that laziness and work ethic, right? So when we are making a film, when we are choosing a profession we actually love to do, as I say, there is no retirement. You are working all the time and this is so much fun. You are enjoying every bit of it. Even something is not part of that film, that 2 hour or 3 hour duration, whatever we talk about, whatever will be seen or shown on screen, whatever people will see, in the big screen. Maybe in that 2 hour or 3 hour duration that is not there, but before that you have to prepare a lot. After that you have to introspect. Maybe in the next movie you will do something else. Maybe this movie or the process of making this movie will lead to another movie. So we are always working. There is no scope for laziness. There is no scope for this taking it lightly or doing this. But what happens is, I have seen few scenario, so I will mention those examples. It's like some people say I am a hard-working person, I am a really hard-working person, I have a strong work ethic. So if we just follow that person or believe his or her words, what happens is, maybe we know that work ethic much better than they do. Maybe they are into something else, but since they are in the position or that industry, we think that they are thinking about work ethic in the same manner. We make mistakes, Based on that, we will take some decisions, we will make mistakes. So the work ethic we have formed, the passion we have formed, the enthusiasm we have formed for ourselves, over the years, with some friends or maybe like-minded people, or maybe a community of great artists, actors, directors, writers, whatever it is, whatever we have formed. And from the cinema itself, because we can learn, I think we can learn the most from cinema. You don't have to go to a film school. If you can watch a movie really carefully, if you can watch a movie with all its aspects, each and every bit of it, if you can look at it carefully, you can learn so much about filmmaking or how to make a film. Then it's about managing people, cast and crew, managing your resources, how you are taking those decisions, making it happen. Then ultimately when you are coming to the end product, again it will come to the same thing. How you are shaping the movie, how you are making the movie, how you are taking it to the audience. Then this marketing, distribution and all these other aspects will come into place. There you can add value too. That is the thing, when you know what you started with, when you know what you wanted to convey, you can add your part, you can add your contribution to that. This is the way I want this movie to be seen. This is the way I want it to be marketed. You are marketing in this way, maybe I can add something. So you're always working, it's part of your work ethic. There is no scope for laziness in this. But people who don't understand it, they have created a lot of narratives. They will find a lot of blames and excuses, they will find a lot of this and that, and they will do that. This guy is a lazy guy, this guy is not working. But in filmmaking, or if you choose a profession you really love, you're always working, right? So this laziness and work ethic, this is a big thing. But become a better filmmaker, become a better storyteller, become a better artist. You're always working on it. It is not like a 9-to-5 job that you have to do this, we have to do this. But when we are making a shoot, then we have this stringent schedule we have to follow. The shoot will be wrapped, this take, that take, this portion of the script we are going to shoot. Script supervisor can help, the director can help. Then we are doing this scheduling and budgeting and all these things, because something, there are producers who are taking those decisions. Many things, independent movie will have its own thing. We have discussed it many times. I won't go with those details. A studio movie have its own, requirements. So you follow that accordingly. But it is not like a 9-to-5 job. For many people it can be, but if you are a creative artist, especially if you are a creative leader, it is something much more than that. You are shaping this thing, you are creating an entire world, the story. If I talk about diegesis, non-diegesis, and so many other things, that cinematic world you are creating something from scratch. If it is already there in a novel or already in a something literary, then you are taking that, you have all these characters already. You have that plot, you have those things, maybe you are tweaking it, maybe you are improvising it, you are translating that to the cinematic medium. But if you are creating something from scratch, you are so much, involved in that entire process, especially if you are the director and writer. But a director's job is not only limited to that particular duration or that particular day. He or she is making a lot of choices, before the shoot, after the shoot, during the shoot, and so many other things are happening around it, right? So become a better filmmaker, become a better storyteller. That guy is lazy, I am the one who is hardworking, I have a strong work ethic, then I am creating these narratives, I have a strong work ethic, I'm a strong work ethic. And somebody from the crowd who is aspiring to be a filmmaker, who is just following that guy has a strong work ethic, I want to be like that. Then you want to tell a story and you find something else. That guy doesn't have a strong work ethic. Maybe that guy can be the laziest person in the world. Can be. So something like that too. So you figure out how you want to tell a story, how you want to work. Maybe one person is doing it with one take, you are going for 10 takes, some person is going for 20 takes. Figure out all these things. Work ethic doesn't mean you have to stay for this duration. In filmmaking, in art, we have a lot of opportunities, we don't understand all these things. We want to tell the story the best possible way we can. That person is taking 10 takes, that doesn't mean I have to take 10 takes. But if I require 10 takes, then I will take 10 takes. But that person is taking 10 takes, I will use that code, I will use that person's biography, I will use that person's, whatever he has done in the past, I will use those tropes, those archetypes, and I will play with it. Then I will create my image. It's not about that. Whatever we are talking about, here we are talking about cinema. We are not talking about that. Pretending to be something, creating a perception, creating an image. We are not talking about that. Very strictly, we are not talking about that. Cinema. If you think you can do with one take, if you think you can do it with 10 takes, you figure it out. You guide the actors. You tell the actors whether you will be with the actors while shooting. You can be near the actors, or you can be looking at the screen. You are making those choices. You can do both if needed. But you are guided by that passion and enthusiasm of storytelling. Directing that movie, bringing people together to tell a great story. Not just like following that, pretending to be that, wanting to be like that. It's not like that. You are telling a story, you are figuring out your own thing. When you do that, I can tell you one thing. When you do that, you don't have to think about work ethic in a separate way. Each time you feel like working, you feel like making it better, you feel like taking some great decisions, you feel like tweaking this thing, lateral thinking, creative thinking, you are using all these things, whatever you learn, you read a lot of books, then you implement all these things in little decisions, little decisions, small decisions you can take, that can come from all these things. So it is not like that I don't have to read this book, I don't have to read that book. It is not like that. You want to tell the story, you can find inspiration in a lot of places, and you will feel like working a lot, and you can actually work a lot. That person doesn't understand, that person can call you a lazy person. You don't have to even look at it, you don't have to pay heed to it, because you have figured it out really well how you are going to make your movie, how you are going to guide your actors, how you are going to tell this story, your story. Maybe you are doing it for this particular story. In the next story, you can change. You can be flexible, you can be agile, and you can do it accordingly. But what you are not compromising? Great storytelling, great direction. Right? So that's why it's very important, when you really love this, when you really are passionate about it, you have a lot of enthusiasm, then all these narratives, perception building exercises, those things are there, but you will feel that I am going for cinema. And cinema is something more, and I will vouch for that. Then you figure out a lot of things.